first, this actually is our first formal so-called results briefing. We are in this Bursa Rise program, and some analysts are covering us. This is also part of the Bursa Rise program. So I have this morning, first of all, let me thank Cassidy and his team for doing a wonderful job and getting the slides done up nicely, and also arranging for today's so-called corporate presentation. So without further ado, let me just quickly take you through the slides that have been prepared by Sandy. I think Spritzer is a well-known name, so probably you have consumed our products. We've been around for quite some time. We are mainly involved in the manufacturing, marketing, distribution of a comprehensive range of water products. So we started in 1989. We have more than 30 years of experience, and we are one of the first people producing mineral water in the country. Starting together with us, I think there's another company which is still around. The rest, I believe, they have moved on. So the other company is actually Alpine. You probably have heard of this brand or have consumed its products. Alpine is from Johor. Besides Alpine, we are the two left since 1989, and we are the industry leader in this bottled water industry. So just some key facts: we have we have more than 40% market share in the Malaysian bottled water industry, and we have more than 30 years of track record, and we have won numerous awards and accolades, and bottled water is actually bulky and heavy, and everywhere you go, the bottled water industry is actually dominated by the local boys. So they go. A lot of them actually go international, but the one competing in the mass market are normally the local boys. And if you are not, you probably have to start your plant there. Like like for instance, for example, Nestle in Thailand, they are the very big producer. They're probably the dominant player, but they have the plant there. Nestle has two plants, one in North and in South Thailand. And similarly, the other neighbor, Indonesia, Aqua is under Danone. So Danone bought over Aqua some years ago. So basically, you want to be in the mass market, you need to have your plant there. Okay, that is that's why 90% of our contribution actually come from local sales. Our annual capacity now is actually around 850 million and growing, and we will probably reach 1B very soon. We have some expansion program going on. I won't go through the revenue, profit, and profit after tax that with you. You probably can read that later. Can move to the next slide. And let's look at some corporate milestones. We commenced bottled water business in 1989 in Taipei, not at the present plant, actually somewhere nearby. It was in a light industrial area, but when we started, there was no rules and regulations on bottled water. So, but later they say, hey, your plant shouldn't be in the industrial area, even if it's a light industrial area. So we were actually asked to move. We moved to our present plant in Taipei. Some of you may have been to that plant in 1994. And that's actually when we started our listing application. So we were not successful in the first round. And the second round, 1997, there was Asian financial crisis. We submitted, but they were not looking at it. eventually we got listed in year 2000. So we were listed on the second board at that time, second board. And our share cap was 49 million. Those days you see have nominal value. At the IPO price of 170, that gives us a market cap at that time at IPO was just about 83 million. Now our market cap with our current price of 2 ringgit, and we have about 210 million shares. So our market cap now is about 420 million. So we have grown over the past 2022 years. Okay. So immediately after the listing, we acquired another plant in Yongpeng. This is a mineral water plant, pretty small. This is our second plant. Then in year 2010, we started producing drinking water at Shah Alam. Some of you might have been to this plant as well. So this plant, this is the third water plant. This plant actually producing drinking water, unlike our Taiping and Yongping plant, where we were actually mineral water plant. And then in year 2016, we started selling bottled water in southern China, like Guangzhou area. We set up a trading company, and we actually have been selling in China for about 5 years or 6 years. Sad to say, we are not able to make profit yet. We are still losing, and we are losing quite some money, a fair bit of money over the years. So probably our share price can't do well. Partially could be due to this loss-making China operations. Okay, so the last thing we had, in 2020, we actually commissioning our ASRS, automated storage and retrieval warehouse system. So it's now fully automatic. Some of you who have visited us earlier wouldn't have seen this because this was done during the MCO 2020. And that's the corporate milestone. Let's move to the next slide. Let's look at the business overview. We are principally manufacturing, marketing, and selling of full range of bottled water products. And I'm repeating myself. And our main products actually natural mineral water, distilled drinking water, and the normal drinking water. So we actually have distilled drinking water. Distilled water is actually popular in Hong Kong. Elsewhere in China, so people also drink distilled water, but particularly in Hong Kong. And talk about how good is our mineral water. So we have high silica content, and if you go to our website, if you look at it, you can see we talk a lot about silica able to remove aluminum from our body, and that would actually improve our brain function. That's basically the thing that we are emphasizing. But besides that, silica is actually very good for skin, hair, nails, and bones, and all those things. In fact, another bottled water brand by the name Fiji, they also have high silica content. Not unlike us, they emphasize a lot on this beauty part, smoother skin and things like that. And mineral water actually contributed about 80% of our product mix, while drinking water the remaining 20%. So our product mix is actually 80-20. Whereas the industry, if you look at the industry, I think drinking water outsell mineral water. Yes, drinking water is actually much lower price. Drinking water, we have a drinking water brand, Summer. I think you've seen it in Klang Valley. Is one of the leading brands in that segment as well. The others, the more popular brand in drinking water segment is probably Seamaster. And for mineral water, I think we are the number one, number two, probably number three brands. We have three brands in doing mineral water. The first is, of course, our Spritzer and Cactus and Desa. These three brands actually are the main brands. And in mineral water, you have other players, but people like Dasani. Dasani is from Coca-Cola. Dasani, they don't produce their own. They get somebody to OEM for them. So it's a OEM product. FNN has Ice Mountain. FNN, of course, mineral water is not their core. So they have a few plants. FNN, they have one in Pahang, a small plant, and also there's another mineral water plant in Sarawak, near Kuching. They are about to start their drinking water plant in KK soon, something like that. But the good thing is, drinking mineral water and drinking water is not their core, unlike us. So, okay, let's move to the next slide. In terms of we actually have three main activities: manufacturing, trading, and others. So in terms of revenue, the mix is like 95-5-1, you know, or 95-4-1, the kind of thing, 96-3-1, the kind of ratio, substantially bottled water. So the other segment, non-bottled water, is basically we sell other products like preforms, bottles, and toothbrush. So we produce and we also sell. And the other segment would be like we are managing a recreation park in Taipei. So we have some income from there. Essentially, you just have to look at our bottled water business. The rest are actually not significant, and we are very much integrated. We produce our own caps, bottles, you know, and we are integrated in the sense. In this business, you need economies of scale. You need to be efficient, and you also need to be integrated. If you are able to produce your own caps and bottle, then you save some cost there. All right, let's move on. And this is
Hello, Mr. Saw. Hi, Mr. Saw. Is it me?
I think he
Is Mr. Saw disconnected?
got disconnected.
Okay. I guess we have to wait for him
Yeah.
to redial. Yep.
Hear him.
Hi, Mr. So.
Yes. Okay. So sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah, the internet connection was cut off. So I'm coming back using handphone. And
No problem.
sorry. My apologies.
No problem. No problem. Back to you.
I'm actually working from office, not from home. Okay. All right. Let's continue. We are at this okay. We are the largest and most integrated bottled water producer in Malaysia. We have more market share about 40% or more. Actually, we have more than that. So we have 3 plants. Our Taiping plant is the largest mineral water plant in the country. We own 390 acres of land. We started actually with 4 acres. Then later we slowly acquiring all neighboring land, and we have now land size of 390 in Taiping. Yongping plant is a small plant. It's a typical mineral water plant in Malaysia. You look at any other plant, it's about that size. Some just have 10 acres or so. So we actually have about 36 acres in Yongping. When we acquired Yongping in 2001, the plant was just having about 10 acres. So we actually acquiring the surrounding land as well. And the Shah Alam is in the industrial area, so we are quite a sizable one. Look, 7 acres. In Shah Alam and KL, you can't do mineral water because of the requirement. So basically, it's a drinking water plant. That is our plant setup. And our capacity is about 850 million liters now annual. So we have high utilization now. Business is actually good. If you look at our top line turnover, we actually have been performing well for the first 2 quarters. We started improving actually from the final quarter of last year. The top line started improving. So utilization is actually 80% is actually high. So our setup, because we are integrated, whole line is automated. So to do more than 90% utilization is quite difficult unless everything is tip top. So other than that, we have a plastic packaging plant to produce bottles and caps for us. And we have extensive distribution network. So you see a lot of mineral water companies, they're actually regional players. You find them in certain places, but you go further away or you go to the north or Europe south, you don't see them. These are very much regional players. It's not difficult to understand why, because logistic cost is actually a big component of our cost. So in our business, we need to take care of 2 costs, two types. The first is, of course, the packaging costs. Substantially, the product we are selling you package the bottle, not so much of the water. Packaging account for about 70 to 75% of our costs. And the other one is actually logistic, because it's so heavy. So as I earlier explained, if you are overseas supplier, you want to try to sell in Malaysia, you lose out. Your logistic costs will definitely much higher. But then again, you'll be asking me, why are we going to China? Yes. We have to manage logistic costs there as well, but it's not too difficult. China is not too far away. So and also we position ourselves. We actually can't compete with the low cost, low price players. So our selling price in China is about medium to high, that kind of range. So to cover our costs. All right, that is about the integration. Yeah, next slide. So we have actually some expansion program. So I was telling you earlier that our capacity will be 1 million soon. Okay, we have few program ongoing actually right now doing. We will build a new plant in our Shah Alam. 7 acres, not a big piece of land, but there is still a small portion not used. So we will build a new warehouse, because we have just added a line, a fully automated line there, and we need more storage space. Water is basically bulky. So with our high volume, of course, we sell, we actually send our goods out every day, but then you still need some storage space. So building a warehouse there, that will cost 17 million in our Shah Alam. And we are also upgrading our raw water treatment in Taiping. We'll spend a capex of about 10 million. This will improve our yield. This will improve this will probably use less water in our process this will actually improve our efficiency as well. It'll be automated, and of course, we are adding a line in our Shah Alam, so that line, when the line is commissioned, probably before year end, our capacity will reach 1B. Right, and this, how do we fund this? We need to borrow. Now, I think we are at net cash as of June, but we need some borrowing here. So this will be funded using internally general fund and also some bank borrowings. All right, next slide, Casey. Okay, just to explain a little bit of more on this, our automated warehouse. Yes, this is very new. It's a tall structure, and the capacity is about 15,000 pallets. So yeah, can store a lot of things. It's fully automated. So this would, of course, able to solve more goods for us and also improve efficiency. We spend a lot on this. It costs us about 65 million, yeah, excluding land. So this is our new warehouse. So it's nice to see. If you are near Taiping or something like that, you probably want to pay us a visit and take a look at this. Okay, next slide. I think next would be a video. Come, Cassidy. Yes. Let's show you what this is all about. Yes, this is our new ASRS is actually ready, so you can see the real thing if you happen to be in our plant. Really impressive. I think we are the only bottled water company having this kind of automated warehouse. I also understand actually FNN also doing their ASRS. FNN also having their ASRS, and I think also it's about to be completed soon. Their capacity, I understand, is actually 3 times ours. Ours, just how I mentioned, is about 15,000 pallets. Theirs is actually 45,000 pallets. Okay, that is on the warehouse. Now, I think a lot of us now emphasize a lot on ESG. You probably know that we have a new design, a new look, Spritzer new look. We actually have new bottle design, and also we have some new labels, and also we actually update our logo. And in this new packaging, we started using recycled PET, rPET. So no longer 100% or virgin PET. We actually have about 25% recycled PET. So we are actually starting to use rPET. Probably in overseas, in European countries, a lot of beverage companies are switching to rPET. But I think the rPET production is still low, and you can't do 100% switch. Of course, a lot of them are very eager to do that, but just that the supply is limited, and rPET is definitely more costlier than the virgin PET. So we are doing that. We also have plant-based material. Our SL is actually using plant-based PET bottle, and over the years, we actually trying to reduce the weight of the bottle. So when we first started, just to give you some background, a 500 ml bottle weighed about 22 grams at that time. That was way back in the 1990s. And now our typical 500 ml bottle weighs about 14 grams. So there's a tremendous reduction in weight. So PET is 100% recyclable, and also with ASRS, we also reduce the use of forklifts, and also, of course, the carbon footprint. So this is how we are looking at the ESG. By the way, we are also a member of MARIA. I am not too sure if you're familiar with this organization, Malaysian Recycling Alliance. Actually, we are the founding member of this. There are about 10 initial members, comprises of big boys, the big boys, Coca-Cola, Colgate-Palmolive, Dutch Lady, FNN also there, of course, Nestle, ourselves, and Unilever. And they are just there. If you are keen, you probably want to know more about MARIA, you can go to their website, Malaysian Recycling Alliance. That, yeah, we are also a member of that. So, okay, on ESG, let's move on to the next slide. We are a beverage company, so the business nature is actually defensive, but of course a bit low margin. Our margin is pretty low, and okay, we have been consistently and making money since we started business. And in fact, revenue growing every year since we started, except during the MCO years, 2020, 2021, turnover came down. So we used to have double-digit top line growth, but later, because of a bigger base, the top line growth was about 10%. But now we have very strong growth in the last 2 quarters. So basically, we have been making money all these years, and we have also been paying dividend, and we have just adopted a dividend policy, and with a payout ratio of not less than 35%. So now, yeah, you can see the dividend coming pretty consistently, provided we make money. Okay, that is our track record and also our dividend payment. So yeah, next slide, Cassidy. All right, let's look at some financials. But I suppose you probably can read this, can analyze better by looking at our quarterly announcement. So as you can see, yes, there was a dip in financial year 2020 and 2021. Revenue came down in these 2 years. We were moving to 400 million turnover, but that was not to be. And in 2020, actually, the revenue came down. And in 2022, will we hit 400? I would say likely. In the first half, we already have more than 200. First half of the year, our top line has already exceeded 200 million. So so far so good in our 3Q. And if the business can sustain, and we are likely to be able to hit the 400 mark. Okay, that is on top line. And on profit before tax, so MCO years also affected our profit. And also lately, I don't think most of you are familiar. The PET packaging cost has gone up a lot. The PET resin price move actually in line with the oil price. So right now it's still high. It's easing a little bit, but it is still not too low yet. It's still around 5,004 per ton. I'm saying the ringgit. Still high, but I think it's not as high as 2 months back when it hit 5,008. So now it's around 5,004. So there's some easing there, and so yeah, our previous year PAT was 24 million. So what would this year be like? Likely. This year we probably have a better year if sales is sustaining, and cost is not going up further. Cost is not going up further. So with that, probably you can expect a better year than last year on PAT, profit after tax. So yes, we actually record a strong top line growth in the first 2 quarters. So the third quarter is not too bad. In fact, we have some difficulty in coping with the demand. So yeah, just now I mentioned about 80% utilization of our plant, our capacity. That is actually quite high, not our normal utilization. Our normal is probably around 70. And we have additional lines coming in. So we hope we can cope with the extra demand. So looks fair on our performance in the current year. So okay, I'm not explaining too much on the financials, because basically I think you can read this by yourself. And let's just talk about outlook and kind of prospect. So what are we doing to manage the challenges? So as I mentioned, the demand is very strong, and we have some issues on coping with the market demand currently, actually. And yeah, I think everyone knows we face labor shortages. We are very automated, but then we still need workers. We still need a lot of, because we have 3 plants. We still have, you still need people to do a lot of work. Okay, we have labor issue, but we hope this can be overcome. We are trying to get workers in. Of course, we have, everyone know now, inflation rate is high, everything costs more. We have high operating costs as well. So this we will have to manage. These are the challenges we are facing. So increase automation. Now, probably we are all our lines are mostly fully automated, but certain lines are not really that kind of automation because of lower volume and things like that. So, and we are highly automated, and also we will be focusing on increasing our market share. I believe during these 2 years, we have been sustaining our sales top line, and also we are looking at our numbers and also some numbers from the industry. We actually have slightly improved our market share. So these are the things. So I also mentioned top line, probably we can hit 400 million. That part, I think we are confident if sales sustaining at current level. And in terms of bottom line, there should be an improvement over the previous year. Okay, that's about the outlook and prospect. I wish I can tell you more, but I don't have a crystal ball. So, okay, I've come to the last slide. Thank you. And maybe you can start the Q&A session.
Thank you, Mr. Saul, for the presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, the floor is now open for any questions. Please feel free to ask away if you have any questions. Thank you.
Yeah, I have a question on ASRS. Okay, ASRS, the commissioning of ASRS is going to cost us more because of higher depreciation charge. But in the long run, there will be substantial savings. If you are using a manual system, your cost can only go up every year. But with an automated system, the cost can be managed quite well. Especially, I think we have not fully utilized our capacity yet. So we have higher depreciation charge for year 2022. In fact, 2021, our depreciation was already high. So how much savings? Of course, we have done some simulation. We will definitely use less labor, and that depends very much on the utilization. So if we achieve higher utilization, definitely the cost will come down. But as I say, a manual system can only cost more every year. If you continue with that, and the manual system also cannot cope with our volume now, because if you have trucks coming in every month, you just cannot cater that for that kind of volume. So we need ASRS because the turnaround time must be fast, and water is very bulky, and you need an automated system to pick the right stock and fast. That would ease the loading time and things like that. So ASRS is a way to go. The utilization rate, as I said, we haven't reached the max yet. So basically, I'm not exactly sure of our latest utilization rate, but I would guess this probably just around 70 or something like that, 70. So I've also a question here, distribution channel. Okay. Yes, how do we distribute? We actually use wholesalers, we have distributors, and we have main one. We are using the network of Yili. So Yili they have 15 or 17 branches throughout the country. So they have a very good distribution network to whole Malaysia. We also have other distributors and wholesalers to distribute for us. But our weakness is in Horeca. Horeca, I suppose all the Horeca dominated by the carbonated drinks and people. So bottled water is getting more and more popular. You actually you see it in Singapore, but in Malaysia, I think a lot of people we're pretty weak this area, definitely, because but for the Horeca side, you need to have good distributor, wholesalers, because you probably cannot do direct because the volume is not too high, and there are too many outlets to service. So we are weak there, but the other places, the other channels, we are quite well covered. Hyper, super, convenience store, and also, in fact, the petrol kiosk. We are quite strong in petrol kiosk because really distributing very well in the petrol kiosk. By the way, petrol kiosk, the most saleable product in a petrol station is besides their oil, petrol is actually water. So okay, there's another question here. Can the management share the ASP trend?
Read this out for the benefit of everyone, Mr. So. Can the management kindly share the ASP trend over the past 3 years and the trajectory going forward, including the rising cost trend? Maybe you answer that first.
Okay, on ASP, actually, this depends on two things: sales mix. For the past 2 years, the sales mix has been, we've been able to sell the lower price product. This probably, I think, in other beverage companies, I suppose this could be the case as well. So ASP actually is not improving that much, but at the same time, we also increase our selling prices. So, and especially in these 2 years, so we are just sustaining there. Our ASP per carton is less than 10 ringgit at the moment. So, okay. Another question: Are there any plan to increase your exposure in Singapore? Yes, we are weak in Singapore. Very sad to say that. The Ice Mountain by FNN, and they probably have the largest market share there. So, but then we actually started selling Spritzer in Malaysia and Singapore at the same time, but our distribution is not too strong in Singapore. We actually have planned to do more, especially with our plant in Yong Peng having bigger capacity. We actually can cope with that, because for our Taiping plant to sell to Singapore, that would be a high logistic cost. but we do have a plant in Yong Peng, and Yong Peng is near to Singapore. So we actually have planned, but the MCO somehow affected our strategy, our plan. So we will focus. We will continue to do to engage with our. Probably we need to strengthen the distribution side for the Singapore market. So, but Singaporeans are also familiar with our products because yeah, we are the number one here. So I think it's not we should do more because logistic costs we can manage. We have a plant in Yong Peng. Okay, that is about the exposure in Singapore. And the next question: your current market share is approximately 40%. What was the market share pre-COVID and 5 years ago? We actually have been having this kind of market share for a long, long time. So we believe it's actually between 40 and 45. And post-COVID, I hope COVID will be gone soon. I think our market share actually increased during the pandemic. Not too accurate because very hard to get accurate figures here. We rely on AC Nielsen. So, but the coverage is also somehow also we have our internal numbers, and so we believe the share is higher after the pandemic. Okay, so okay, everybody wants to know about this. Can the management share the outlook for margin in second half and for coming year when seriously, the utilization will not be able to reach 90%. It's too difficult to do that. Your machine must be really tip-top. So the utilization level, we have never hit 90%. We won't be able to do that because if you come to our plant, you look at the setup, you will know the line must run smoothly at all stages from start to end. That would be very, very difficult. Okay, margin for second half, comparable to first half, but could be slight improvement there because cost is PET resin price. I hope PET resin price will continue to fall. That would help a lot in our margin, and also because we raise our price. The last time we raised our price also in May, so I suppose the effect can be seen more in second half. So I believe the second half margin would be better than first half. That's my guess. Okay. Okay, what's the difference between Spritzer Cactus products if both are mineral water? Why are the need for two brands? We have different market segment. We have Spritzer is probably the only brand that is positioning at that high price level. Besides, of course, the overseas brand. I'm not talking about those Evian, Volvic, Perry, and things like that. But in terms of local brand, Spritzer is by itself at that price range. Cactus is together with other brands such as Ice Mountain, Dasani, and things like that. We have different market segment, so we cater for different needs of customers. So what is the difference? Okay, we have different water source. We use the best source for our Spritzer product. But Cactus is actually a value product if you look at it. The process is the same. The difference is actually the source, the silica content. Okay, I hope I answered that. Okay, there's another question. Let me read this out. Two questions. How do you plan to go about to increase your market share, given the rather stable with the existing players, and some players also plan to increase their capacity? Okay, what's your key strategy, competitive edge? What's the geographical breakdown of your sales, say by Peninsula and East Malaysia? We are stronger in Peninsula, and the bulk of the market, the main market is actually in Klang Valley. I think everybody knows the Klang Valley is the one selling the most for many FMCG products. So okay, let's look at how do we increase our market share. I think if you look at it on A&P, we are probably the only bottled water company that has been aggressive in doing advertising and promotion and all these things. So the good thing is we have a large volume, we have economies of scale, and we are fully integrated. We have cost advantage over a smaller player. We manage the whole supply chain kind of thing. So cost-wise, we are there and we are able to compete. And in terms of branding and marketing, I think we have been doing quite well. We are quite successful, and Spritzer is a really well-known name, and even Cactus has gained a very strong following. So basically, we have a full range, so from small bottles to large bottle, to cater for all market segments. So I don't think other players have that kind of our capability, you know. So we have these are our advantage. East Malaysia, we are a bit, we are not so strong because East Malaysia there's a lot of drinking water players there. But then in terms of Spritzer, we are still the dominant one. So it's really well known. East Malaysia, I would suspect Ice Mountain could be doing a little bit better than us because they have a plant in Kuching. They also have a new plant coming out soon in KK. So, but on the premium side, on the premium mineral water, Spritzer is still the brand leader there. So mainly our strength is a lot of it is in Peninsula. Okay, that is, I hope that answered the question. Okay, can I have the next question? Okay, this foreign workers situation. Someone asked about foreign workers situation. Yeah, we're trying to bring in more, but we hope we are successful. But we are facing a shortage at the moment. We are facing a shortage at the moment at our Taiping plant and Yongping plant. We need to automate further. Okay, that is on foreign workers. So okay, and
we
also
have a
this
question, Mrs. So will the
yeah.
quality of your mineral water change with climate change?
Okay, our quality is quite consistent, but it's natural mineral water. So you would expect the product to be different, you know, and even if you are extracting from the same source, say if you're extracting today and you are extracting from the same source a year later, you would have a slight change in the mineral content. But our silica content is pretty consistent and is still very high at the moment. So we are quite fortunate. So and not to say Spritzer has the highest silica content. Even our Cactus brand, that's why I say it's a value product. Our silica content is also quite good. So yeah, natural. So you don't expect the thing to be identical. Okay, the next question here. Can I understand why Spritzer product have the most silica content? Oh, okay, this is from the ground. I suppose maybe Taiping has this. I'm not too sure whether elsewhere in other parts of the country you have the same thing. Yeah, but in Yongping doesn't look like it that way lah. So okay, by the way, Spritzer is only produced in Taiping. So Spritzer yeah, whereas cactus is produced in both our Taiping plant and Yongping plant. But you say you're buying cactus from the south, chances are you probably buying from our Yongping plant, or you're buying cactus in Penang, probably you are getting it from our Taiping plant. So, but Spritzer is only produced in our Taiping plant. We actually pay a lot of attention to the quality of Spritzer because we are actually charging more. All right, move to the next question. Can you provide the main cost breakdown in terms of COGS, A&P costs, and distribution costs? Okay, packaging cost consists of about 70, because of high PET resin price lately, I think it will probably reach 75 of our cost of goods sold. That is the main cost. And the others will be overheads, labor, and things like that. Water itself, well, it's not free. We have to pay for the extraction, but it's a very minimal. So you pay for other costs. You are not paying for water. Our A&P, we normally have a budget of 5%, which is very high. Because you look at our net margin right now is around 7. Net margin is probably 7 plus. So we spend quite a fair bit sustaining our brand. So A&P consists of about 5% of our revenue. That is basically high. The other cost is distribution. Distribution is all about logistic. So distribution cost can come up. The logistic cost itself can come up to about 10% of our sales revenue. Yeah, that's about briefly the cost breakdown. Just try. Okay. All right, there's another question here. Going forward to say 10 years, how much more capacity can you add to without hitting space? Taiping plant, there's no space constraint. We have 390 acres. We use only a very small portion of a plant, but the constraint can come from water supply. You may not have sufficient water supply, but Taiping is the wettest town, and yes, the average rainfall is twice the national average. So I think we have still a lot of places we haven't explored. We have 390 acres. So how much before we hit the space? So of course, the space is not a constraint. The constraint can come from the water source. So that, unfortunately, we can't tell, until well, water is something different. It's not like oil where you have a reserve. Water you get replenishment from rain. So the rain will replenish your water source. So basically, yeah, I can explain a little bit about water source. If you are trying to extract the water, there's a discharge rate, and the water will flow back to the area. Water will come back. That will flow back to that source. So that is a recharge rate. So if your discharge rate equals to your recharge rate, theoretically you have a perpetual source. But then how much you can extract is a question. So if you say this water, this well that you have, you can do 10,000 gallon per hour, and if you try to do 12,000, that won't work. So that would be the capacity. So you do have that would be the capacity. Say 10,000. Yeah, you can do more, or sometimes you probably have to do less because you have to make sure that the water will flow back in time to the water source. Okay. Oh, definitely. Mineral water has to be underground, so you cannot have other form of source. So whereas drinking water, most drinking water producers actually they use tap water. So for mineral water to qualify and to be approved by Ministry of Health, it must come from underground. So and there's no other, not like other places. A lot of people talk have spring water and things like that. China operations, question of on China operations, how can we break even? Yeah, we've been there for 5-6 years. So this year we still cannot break even because of a COVID situation in China, and the loss is coming down. We thought we actually can break even after 5 years, but it takes longer than that. So even next year we have a chance, but I'm still not too sure. But basically revenue is improving, and if situations improve, we can control our costs. We may just be able to, if we're lucky, we probably be able to break even towards the end of the next year, something like that. Okay, what is the margin between mineral water and drinking water? Okay, basically, to produce 1 carton of mineral water and produce 1 carton of drinking water, the cost is about the same. But of course, mineral water still costs more. But then you look at it, you need a bottle, you need label, you need cap, and that is about it. And I mentioned water is really not a significant cost in the overall cost component. So how your margin actually come from your selling price. So typically we have more mineral water, so sales mix. But then mineral water, we also have Spritzer, Cactus, and Desa. So each selling different price. So for example, but just to give you an indication, the Spritzer is more than twice the selling price of our drinking water. So if we sell more of a Spritzer, then we have a higher margin. So essentially, margin come from selling price. Cost is almost the same, about the same. Oh, question on how much we have lost in China. Yes, over 5 years. Now the loss is about 2 million a year now, currently. But when we first started, the first year, I think we lost about 10 million. So over the years, the loss has been coming down, and currently it's probably around 2 million ringgit per year. That is our China loss for the time being. Then the next question, has there been a change in product mix? Yes, the product mix is actually a little bit of, there's some changes there. People are consuming more of the lower price product. So Spritzer has this problem to sustain its market share and also sustain its rapid sales volume, because we are selling at a higher price. So that basically very much depends on consumer preference. But we are seeing, especially during the MCO years, we are seeing the lower price products are doing better. So that I hope that answers the sales mix and also product mix. How difficult barrier to entry? Is actually very difficult to start a mineral water plant. Seriously, I understand there's a player who was in the drinking water business and bought a large piece of land in Negri Sembilan, and then end up can't get the water source, and they have to produce drinking water there. So you have to have a piece of land large enough, and you have to be able to find the water source. We have 390 acres, so we also have quite a number of failed attempts. So not that you drill a hole, you drill a well, then you probably can get water. No, not really. So the supply may be too small that you don't want to construct the well, and things like that. So there are many issues. It's not easy to get your water source, because especially you can't see what is underground, and you can just miss the underground stream or underground river, because your well is just about 6 inch. So when you pour, you go down, it's just a six inch kind of area, yeah, diameter. So you can miss a lot of things because the water flow, you can miss the water flow. Okay, that's very difficult. So not easy, and seriously, if you have a small piece of land like our Yongping plant, but we are fortunate in Yongping somehow. You are not, you probably have run into problem of a water source. But then Taiping, I think we are quite confident because we have 390 acres. Okay, who is the number 2 and number 3 players? Okay, so in terms of mineral water, I think Ice Mountain is our number 2 player. But in terms of drinking water, Seamaster could be the number 1 player. We are the number 1, number 2 will be Seamaster in our summer. So for drinking water, for mineral water, right now I see Seamaster. I think Ice Mountain. The other players like Dasani, Spring Fresh, even Alpine, they are quite small. So yeah, basically they are very there are a lot of regional players. You have Eau Claire and Spring Fresh, Alpine. These are the main players. But I see the threat is coming from Ice Mountain because they are hopefully they still focus on their 100 plus. Don't come to our drinking water segment. But yeah, you never know. It's switching, and in US, bottled water outsell carbonated drinks. That was 2 or 3 years back already. So Malaysia could be like that in the future. Okay, the next question: can you share roughly how much has the sales volume of Spritzer declined year to date? Oh, yeah. You're seeing a decline in Spritzer. Not so. Actually, sales actually improved for Spritzer. Do you see competition from players selling filter water, Koei, and yeah, these are competitors, but they are different product actually. So water filter, a lot of household, especially in Klang Valley, every house they have 2 filters, one outside, one inside, the kind of thing. So, well, they're actually different. Bottled water is very much consumed away from home. So people consume more bottled water when they go outdoor. So I suppose there are 2 probably, yeah, it's different lifestyle. They won't just boil the water and put it in a Tupperware and carry that kind of thing. So they'll because water is available, is accessible so easily, and I think it's also low price. So I think these are the players. They are there, so they but not much. Seriously, if you talk about filter water machine and all those things, sure, definitely we can't say it won't affect, but then I don't think the impact is really that significant. Okay, good.
I think maybe you take one last question, Mr. So, since it's coming to 1 hour plus already.
Okay. This is the one. What is your biggest worries for Spritzer business looking into the later part of this year and 2023? Spritzer would probably do okay in 2022. Why? Yeah, because there's strong demand. So when there's strong demand, we'll try to sell more Spritzer. We will definitely fulfill the demand for Spritzer than trying to those characters or others, So, I mean, that's only natural. So in 2022, Spritzer would be fine. We have launched the new icon. I think if you take a look at that, quite popular, well received. A lot of people think that is quite nice. And I think Spritzer new look is really attracting some attention there. So hopefully that would also go into 2023 as well. So Spritzer would remain our main contributor in terms of profit. Yes, because of better selling price, and it's really quite well known, and everybody heard of Spritzer. Spritzer is actually probably one of a very good local brand. Yeah. All
Okay.
right.
I think we'll call the session to an end. Thank you, Mr. Soft, for the
Thank you so much. I
answering all
must
the questions.
apologize just now for the internet disruption. So hope this session is useful, and thank you for attending, and thank you, Cassidy, for arranging this as well. And well, I hope we can continue to do this kind of briefing. And virtual is a bit difficult to interact, especially probably if you talk about prospects, you can't see my body language. So maybe you try to do that. You probably also try to read between the lines and see. Yeah, but generally, I think we are fine in 2022, and probably we'll engage with you more, and feel free to contact me. And some of you actually have been to our plant, and some, it's interesting to look at our new warehouse. Yes, you don't see many factories of that.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right. With that, thank you everyone for attending today. Thank you, Mrs. Saw, for your time.
Yeah.
We'll call this session to an end. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.